what's going on?
All right, that's Brendan's intro. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Mini Trucking Podcast. Today I'm here with my friend Brendan slash mainly MR2 on Instagram. He will be starting a YouTube channel soon, so keep an eye out for that if you're watching this in the future. Also, go subscribe to my main channel at Japanese Mini Truck. But today we're going to talk about my friend Brendan's SW20 chassis MR2. It's a 1995 turbo, right-hand drive, so it's legit JDM right from Japan. He had the thing imported himself, and I brought him onto the podcast to talk about this car today, so we are going to get right into it. Also, this is my first time showing my face on the stream, so hell yeah, let's get it. Also, subscribe to the Mini Truck Podcast. What are you doing here not subscribed? But
Thanks for having me, Derek.
Bro, of course. So I got the, I forgot you can see what I'm looking at. So we got the first picture of your car up right now, and yo, tell me about it, man. Let's just get right into it.
All right, so it's a 1995 Toyota MR2, imported straight from Japan. I went through a guy down in Massachusetts who made the entire process pretty easy. He did everything from the paperwork to the setting up the port stuff and getting it entered into our port, the fees, insurance, and everything. He just made it as easy as it could possibly be to have a car imported. He was even willing to put fender liners on it because the guy over in Japan raced the car. So he put fender liners on it, had them sent to his place, and he also put the wheels that are on there on it for me because he had it up on a lift, and he was willing to do that. So
do you have the stock wheels?
I do have the stock.
I didn't know that, yes. Actually. One of these days I gotta come over. I want to see what the stock wheels look like on this thing.
Oh, of course, they're definitely racing wheels. The rear ones are pretty bald. I think that he probably did a decent amount of drifting with it.
Oh, that's so sick.
They're actually two different styles. The front and rear were actually two different styles when it arrived at port. So I had to.
That's such race car things, man. Like yeah. If you're autocrossing your car or doing straight burnouts or whatever, it might be drifting. A lot of car guys, like especially like they always carry those extra spares and they get slapped on the back. So, and that's cool. I didn't know you didn't have the fender linings in there. That's actually pretty sick that you had that added. Gives it a look.
Front fender liners have been removed, and the MR2 actually doesn't have rear fender liners.
Oh yeah, so it's just straight into your engine bay or something, or it's just all just big empty gap?
There's just I think it's just a metal sheet or plate that they have to protect the inside of the fenders back there, but it's just built into the chassis, so they don't have liners that go back there.
Man. So what are some of the modifications that are done to this car currently?
So currently, everything that's on there has pretty much been done before I got it. I haven't had it all too long to do stuff myself, but it came with a Tomei Racing differential. It has Cusco front and rear strut bars. It has a carbon fiber intake box and a side mount intercooler.
I was looking at that the other day in your car. That box is massive for your intake.
Yes, it is.
It looks good. The carbon fiber looks sick. No, yeah, I love seeing the car. We just met one night in a parking lot. Probably hasn't been that long. It hasn't been that long, maybe 2 months at most so far. Like I don't even know if it's been that long since I've known you. We just clicked, just talking cars and trucks and everything else. So it all worked out, and I was drooling over this car. I wouldn't shut up about it. I thought it was so sick, and it still is. It's such a sick car, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
For anybody that's not sure, the MR2 is a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, hence the initials MR. So it's literally called the MR platform. But yeah, it's just a great car for handling. I bet super fun for autocross and things like that. And on top of that, too, you could, uphill, downhill race it if you live near mountains and you roll like that. Even then, you stated, too, what kind of differential you said you had in there?
It was a Tomei limited slip differential. It's designed for racing, so it feels awful in the corners, tight corners. It feels like the car is shaking apart, but that's just what the differential is designed to do.
Yeah, just so you can, because it would be open originally, and then it locks up, so you can just swing that thing around if you want to or need to. So we're out here in Maine, and as you can see here, hence his Instagram name too. It's corny. It's good. It's smart. It's clever, man. But
Thank you.
like I said, Japanese, so you can see the steering wheel is right on the right there. I love that sticker. I would tell you guys what it means, but you can look it up for yourselves. Scan it or something with your phone and have at it. Um,
Yeah,
and
that sticker was on there when I got it, and
basically, it's just like race like a man. Like don't.
yeah,
I guess that's the proper way to put it. These are some early pictures though. This is like just about the time you got the car, I assume.
yeah, that was actually that picture I took the first time I actually cleaned it.
In the only. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, the
it
dual
definitely
tips out of
needs
the
another
back
one.
is so
Yep,
nasty. Oh,
that's another aftermarket thing. That's actually an aftermarket exhaust. I believe it's a Jasma exhaust. It's 3 inches from the downpipe back.
dirty. And the wing too. The factory wing is such a sick add-on in these cars. Do they all have the wing, or do some come wingless? Do
No,
you know?
they all came with the wing.
Man. Oh, here's a
Different
super cool.
styles between the different years, but
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Please tell me about the events on the side. One is
so
for.
the that left side there that you're looking at is feeds through the intercooler, the side mount intercooler that's in there,
Yep.
and the other side feeds straight into the air box for the air intake.
I think I have that side right there.
Hmm.
And I love it too. It's the turbo model too. I don't know if I said that particularly. That's a part of it being the GTS, right? So the GTS is turboed
Yeah,
as.
the Japanese trims, the GT and the GTS were both the turbocharged models. The other trims did not have the turbo.
Nice. I love that picture. That's another pretty early on picture. We always
Yeah,
there's so many pictures of our vehicles together. It's so sick. They look good. We got to get some cruising footage. We've been talking about
yeah.
Brent. Like I said, Brendan wants to start a YouTube channel as well, and I'm excited to like help out with that and just collaborate together. We will make some really cool videos for you guys. Like this car is one thing to like talk about on the stream but once you like see me doing some walkarounds on this thing, it is nasty. It is cool. This is like your first car show.
Process of making. Yeah, that was the first car show I went to, Bentley's. That might have been actually that was the second one
Oh,
because
yep, the
I
new
left
sticker.
my I left my card at home, so they made me a new one.
Man, tell me about your
I
headlights
didn't know
too.
that you had to do you had to keep bringing it back.
Yeah, dude, that happened to me earlier on, and this year, I what was it I even did? I forgot to bring no. Mine just got so bad at the very end of the year. I was like, hey, like I still have my paper, but could you guys remake one for me? And they drew it out, and I had number 69. It looked so fake. Like it didn't. It looked like I was just like I was being a hoon. But yours is obviously drawn on there too. So
Yeah.
your HIDs right for your headlights, or are you just LED?
Um, I don't actually know the type of bulb in there. They're certainly not LEDs.
Yeah, I think you might have
Um,
the HIDs then
yeah, they
because they're bright.
must be.
This is another cool thing to talk about. So when you got the car, you had ended up bringing it to get detailed, and
Hmm.
the detailer went as far as even taking off the wing, and that was the residue under it. I mean, you know, it's how old is this thing now? 27.
27?
Yeah,
Yeah.
27-year-old car. That wing's probably never been off.
Yeah.
So
Probably not. That I mean that it needed the detailing. So the car sat at port for about 5 weeks, and it was pretty dirty. The sand and dirt had landed on the car, and in Japan there's a lot of acid rain, and it kind of put it down into the clear coat a little bit. So I
oh,
had
what's acid
washed
rain?
it twice.
It like
Oh, it's basically because of the pollution that they have going in the
so the
air.
rain like really just
The
eats
rain
at your
will take
car.
it in, the clouds will take the pollution and drop it down, and it's just got
Oh
a
man,
little bit of acidity in it. So
that's
water is
crazy.
supposed to be pretty neutral. So it'll eat through paint and
Oh
into
man.
clear coat and stuff like that, which was a little scary because the paint on the MR2 is still original. I had cleaned it twice, and all these streaks that I had, they just weren't going away.
Yeah.
And so I brought it into a detailer to see if they could potentially do something with polish or buffing it and get those streaks out. And they actually did an amazing job.
Yeah,
Derek showing the before and after pictures
yeah,
of
you can
some of the
see
things.
all the grime in the emblem. Like that's a small part of the car to really be able to touch up on, and that is nice. Even right
Hmm.
here, this is a lot of the streaking and everything
Yeah,
else, and all the dirt in between the crevice, and bam, like glass.
yeah. I keep saying it looks like it just rolled off the showroom floor in '95. It looks like a brand new car.
Yeah, yo, that's another thing too that like I really want to say too is to get a car from Japan that is this clean is a little crazy. So that's something you really need to look out for too. Is if you guys are ever considering importing a car, is finding a trusted dealership or a trusted importer like Brendan did, who is able to really help you get those pictures you need or anything that you could possibly need to make sure the car is what it really looks like in the pictures. Because most of the
Hmm.
time, you're pretty much getting a car sight on scene. Unless not many people are flying out to Japan to look at the car before they bring it home. So, there you are. You go through an importer, and who knows? I mean, this car could have looked really nice, like a 50-foot car, and then you get up close to it, and it's not pretty. But this one was like literally rust free. Like that being original paint, especially as like a race car, bro, is wild. How clean that is.
A few rock chips here and there, but it's certainly still easy on the eyes.
Yeah, yeah, it's not. It's definitely not a 50-foot car, which is nice. There's a lot of
Yeah,
vehicles that like look way better in pictures. So no, you
yeah,
got really lucky, like not getting a rot box or really getting what you wanted to get. And I know you said you were a little picky. You looked at quite a few cars at the time.
yes. If anybody's going to import their own cars, that would be my biggest tip to you is be picky. It took about 5 months to find the right car for us, and
But it's worth
I
the
was
wait.
very picky. I turned down a lot of cars before the right one came along. So be picky. You don't want to get screwed with something that isn't what you want.
Most definitely. Here's a quick little picture of the interior. Just a quick pic. You can see the little boost gauge. Someone put an aftermarket boost gauge on
Hmm.
the dash. Got the little Toyota tag on your key. And your radio is all in Japanese, you said, which is
Yeah,
hilarious.
the
I
head
love
unit is all Japanese. There's no way to toggle it to English, and the
that.
frequencies are different than the American frequencies. So I can't listen to music in the car.
But at least it's a DVD player.
It is a DVD player. I still haven't put a movie in there to see if I can watch something, but I think that might be something I do the next couple days to see if it works.
I know we were joking around. We're like, this guy's gonna put in like cars or something, and it's gonna be in Japanese, just automatically. it's gonna automatically choose.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Another cool thing too about this MR2, I don't know if this is in some of the American models as well, or just the Japanese models, or what the story is, but this tinted glass. It's really hard to see in these pictures, but it's got kind of like a slight mirror tint fade all around. It's like maybe a deep brown. It's really cool if you see it.
The bronze tinting that they did
Bronze,
over in
yeah.
Japan, it's pretty rare because they only did it in Japan. So finding the bronze tint uh, windows or windshields it's very hard. So that's another cool feature of the Japanese cars.
Yeah, which is that's cool. I like that, man.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting. You don't really see that. You get the black tint or the dark tint, but bronze is not something you see every day.
Another cool thing about the car too is if you guys haven't, I always highly recommend watching Initial D. And I had to get him to watch Initial D. He hadn't seen it, and I was like, dude, it's like you're driving like the off-brand 8.6 right now, or the 8.6 is an off-brand SW20. But no, I was just like, dude, you got the white car with the pop-ups from Japan. Gotta watch it. Like, you even got the fog lights. Like, so cool. But if you guys haven't watched it, I highly recommend. Initial D is fire. Definitely.
Yeah, I was
I was gonna
I
say
was
just.
pretty sad when it ended.
Oh, you watched it all?
Oh, I've watched it all.
Oh man, took you no time.
No, I didn't waste any time. I had free time. Okay, I've got half an hour. Let's watch an episode.
Here's the the back half of the car now. I know it gets a little cut off because of my computer. Obviously, I know this isn't a greatly ideal setup for streaming, guys, but we're making it work. Like, Brendan can't see me. Yeah, I can only see Brendan. So this is great. But I love it. It's we're upping the stream quality for you guys. We wanna keep growing. Also, on this kid's car, he's got two trunks. He's got the back, he's got his little trunk in the rear, then the engine bay's in front of it, because it's mid-engine, and then he's got the front. But like, the trunk in the back is so roomy. I don't know. Have you tried to fit anybody in there yet? No.
No.
On Ramey's
Maybe
Alfa
I'll
Romeo,
put Lillian in there, see if she fits.
our friends Alfa Romeo, his is a hatch, and you open it up, and you're at the engine bay and the trunk, but you can't. Nobody can sit in it. Like it's like half a person deep. But I think we could fit somebody in your trunk.
My friend, he has these. I think they're 8-inch subs in like a box, and it fit very comfortably in the trunk when he put it in there just to store it for a minute. He pulled it out of his car, and it fit right in there with room on each side of it.
I think how many people you can fit in your trunk is a perfect example of how big your trunk is. Like a Lincoln Town car or a Mercury Grand Marquis, it's like 10 people you can fit in there. Yeah. Those trunks are massive. Just to put it in perspective for you guys.
Yeah.
Just another cool thing too on the hatch is it has these vents as well, just for airflow, keeping your engine cool, which is such a sick look.
And the raised ones, because mine are a little bit raised, if you see in that.
Yeah.
That was specific to the turbo models. The
I didn't
naturally
know
aspirated ones are actually flat.
Weird. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
More aggressive look.
Yeah.
Man. And your antenna goes up when you turn on the car, right?
Yeah, it telescopes in and out. There's a little motor in the side wall of the trunk that either retracts it or extends it when you turn the key on.
That's so Japanese. The Honda Preludes did it. The 300ZX Z32. So many
very
cars.
90s. Very 90s.
Oh yeah. Just don't get stuck in a car wash when your antenna's going up. That's always a fun one.
Yeah.
Got to turn the radio off. Right here you got this pretty sick Japanese plate in not too long after.
Yeah.
Here's some of the detail photos.
That was a custom order thing that I thought would look pretty good on the front of it. I got it like an authentic Japanese style plate to put on the car because it's a Japanese car.
Yeah, I love that. One thing I've always wanted to do is get a hold of their glowing Japanese plates right from Japan. I have a friend on Instagram who's got one for sale, and I was like, man, but it wouldn't match when I look at my truck. I got the low D21 plate, so I gotta keep it up. But yeah, like I said, I got a lot of pictures of our cars together. We made our first collaboration video here after Bentley's car show, and posted it to Instagram. And
that's still getting likes every once in a while.
That's sick, actually. It's
yeah, I keep seeing the notification come up.
It's another really sick picture. Speaking of Z32s, I actually just went to go hang out with this kid today, and really cool guy. And he said he wants to make a YouTube channel too. So I actually love that this picture exists because I hope that I have my YouTube channel, but I hope when you guys make your YouTube channels and we're all doing good, our cars are like a little bit crazier and we get this picture like retaken.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to really make them look any nicer, but it can be done. We'll have some cool stuff done. That's such a sick photo, and I know this isn't MR2 related, but I love this kid's wheels. Yeah, see, check that. That looks sick. The SW20 plate on the front. Yeah. So everybody's curious, the SW20 is the chassis code. Two, for anybody unsure, the MR2 is a 4-cylinder turbo. And what are some plans you got for it, man?
Oh, Lord. So I have quite a bit planned. I don't know how long it'll take me to do some of it, but right now I have, I want to get some dress-up bolts for the engine bay. Just ordered their blue titanium dress-up bolt. So the lug nuts and the valve stem caps on the wheels are actually blue. So that's kind of my secondary color.
Yeah, which you just did at IFO, right?
Yep, I just bought I actually just bought the valve stem caps at IFO because they match the lug nuts so well. Yeah, that's the picture from actually at IFO.
That's sick though. That's your first IFO. You still got your sheet in there, ready to get judged.
Oh yeah. I want to do I potentially want to take out the differential that's in there just because daily driving, it's just loud.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's obnoxious.
yeah, and my wife is kind of kind of scared of the noise. So
Yeah, when you hear it,
I was
it sounds like a blown diff. It's like that 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 that, and then it stops once you're driving, right? But it's only in
yeah,
slow speeds when you're
it's only slow speeds around tight corners.
man.
Uh, And then I want to potentially get another aftermarket exhaust. The one that's on there is pretty nice, but when I was actually looking at MR2s, I went and test drove one that had a Burke exhaust on there. It's a 3-inch exhaust, just like the one on there now, with 4-inch tips, and it sounded so good.
That's nasty.
It was definitely a goal when I got an MR2. I thought to myself, okay, this is the exhaust that I'm going to put on it. Uh, and on top of that, I also want to get some OBX racing headers.
Yup.
I've heard pretty good things about them, and my other friend has been telling me that they make good products. So I was thinking about putting those on there. Um, and I know that I'm planning on doing other things right now,
Of
but
course.
those big things that I really want to try to get done maybe this winter. We'll see how it goes.
Of course. And like winter's like the best time to, you know, work on your car really.
Yeah, and I figure I can record myself doing all the work, so I can put a little tripod up when I'm wrenching underneath it and
Of course.
show you guys
All content,
process
man.
and yeah.
If you start a channel, you going by the same name as your Instagram, you think? Mainly MR2?
No, I have the channel started at this point. I just haven't posted anything yet. Currently
Gotcha.
working on my first video, kind of an intro to the car.
If you want to drop your
But
YouTube name, please do so people can find it.
sure, I have it as JDM MR2.
Perfect.
Short and sweet.
It's no,
Not as
it's good.
tacky
It's
as
good to get it out
mainly
there now so
MR2.
people can go check out your content because I'm sure by the time this airs, it won't be long before you start uploading your videos.
No, I'm getting there. You'd
It's a lot
just
of
be
work.
surprised how much recording goes into so little actual usable video.
Of course. No, I get it. A big thing about YouTube, man, is like I try to upload every Monday and
Hmm.
Thursday, and sometimes I upload in between. And like, you gotta go out, you gotta film the content, and I'm very not like, sorry, I try to make my video as educational as possible. So I spend all this time educating myself to make knowledgeable videos to share, and then it's like you get home and you have to edit it all. And I'm not complaining by any means. I love what I do, but I put a lot of effort into the videos, and it's and then you got to stay consistent. And I've never missed a day. Uh, I used to only upload once a week, and then I at the slowest time of the year said I'm gonna start uploading twice a week because I want to grow my channel, and I
Hmm.
did. And sometimes it's I don't want to say stressful, but it is. I mean, it's a full time job for sure. And then starting things like this podcast, where you got to upload. I try to upload every Friday now for the podcast, so that's trying to make more content. I mean, it's like 10:30 at night for us actually, which is really funny. And
Yeah.
but it's fun. I mean, it's just what I love. I love talking about cars. I love sharing the knowledge about cars. For anybody that watches any of the podcasts, I mean, this is just a great way to hear even more knowledge about cars. I mean, it's what we all love. It's why I'm sure you guys are watching. And yeah, my
I will say
speech.
you do a very good job making your videos educational. That's
Thanks.
whenever I watch it, you always know what you're looking at as soon as you see it. And it's crazy because some of the stuff that you talk about, it's like I would never know in 1,000 years,
Yeah,
but
man.
it's
I'm
just
just trying
off
to
the top of your head for you.
share the knowledge, man. There's a lot of things, and I learn as I go too. I try never to feed any misinformation, but sometimes I might see a car, and if I'm unsure, I'll make sure I make it sure that I'm unsure. Like I'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm not too sure what this car is, but if you know, please like let me know down in the comments below." It's just it's how we learn. I mean, I'm only
Hmm.
human, and there's only so much to possibly store in your brain about cars. Again, too, for anybody new to this channel, On my main channel, we're working on a all-wheel drive turbo Civic K-swap build, and then we're working on my brother's first car. It's an '87 Monte Carlo, I'll say. Um, and we built the 305 and we put it in there. And then I'm always working on the mini truck, and then I'm always filming car shows, and I mean the list goes on. And we've been doing a lot of one-on-one content. And as we speak, in 2 days from now, I'm going to go film a one-on-one with a Chevy Gasser, a '55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser with a Cadillac engine, and I'm so excited to make that video. And we should totally make one on your car too.
Hell yeah, I'd be down.
It would be a lot of fun.
One fun thing about the interior there, so a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize, but the turn signal is on the right side. So actually, the first time I drove a right-hand drive car, I went to go make a turn, and just out of habit, I used my left hand and I turned on the windshield wipers. Uh, so that's the same with this car. The lights, so the headlights and the turn signals are on the right side.
Do you ever go to turn on your headlights and you flick the wipers on instead as well?
No, never with the headlights. Actually, I found myself when I'm in my daily, I turn on the wipers instead of the
You're
instead
so
of my
used.
turn signal
You're so
now.
used to it now. Yeah, you're getting so used to the right-hand drive. You get in your daily and you're turning on your blinkers instead of your wipers. And
Yeah, I'm all screwed up right now because of this car.
how was it learning how to drive right-hand drive on left-hand drive roads?
It really honestly wasn't that much of an adjustment. I think that I was used to it in about 15 minutes.
That's not bad. Yeah.
No, a lot of people think think about it and they say, "Oh, I would be driving on the wrong side of the road,"
And you're
but
like, no, you're
that
just a
wasn't.
psycho. No, no,
No,
no.
you know, you're so used to driving on the right side of the road that that doesn't go away when you sit in a right-hand drive
Yeah.
car. You still want to be on the right side. You're just
You just gotta
uh,
lean more towards the sidewalk instead of the middle of the road.
exactly that's the big problem that I had at the beginning was my mind was telling me that I needed to be nearer to the center line, which in a right-hand drive car, because you're sitting so far away from the center line, you drift left in the lane. And I wouldn't go over the center line, but I was definitely
Getting close, yeah.
pretty close to it. And I've seen so many drivers come around a corner in my lane that I don't want to be anywhere near the center line when that happens. So I had to keep telling myself, especially right when I first got it and I was first out on the roads, was stay by the shoulder, stay by the shoulder.
Yeah.
Keep yourself on that white line, not the yellow line.
I mean, even then, like when we're driving down the highway to IFO, you like you kept your car in the lane the whole time. Like you drive it great, like, and you
Thank
haven't had
you.
the car for very long. Like only a couple months now. Like I said, right? Three
Just about
months.
2 months.
Yeah, that's insane. And for what you already started doing, and you've already started getting your name out there, like that's not bad,
Hmm.
man. Like that's good growth. I'm big into progress. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm always trying to find progress in things, even if they don't need to be there. I just like anytime someone's got a car, I just love seeing them build it, or I don't know, just everything in life. I always apply trying to be progressive to anything. So the YouTube channel, how can we grow YouTube? Instagram, how can I grow Instagram? Uh, just everything, man. All right, I got a car. How can I make this car better? Like I love progress. It's just so fun to watch things come together. Um,
I was kind of glad to get something where I actually could show off. I've wanted to get a car for a long time. Being able to
yeah,
get one now, I just want to show everybody. That's people tell me at work it's all I talk about. Uh, but it's because we love this kind of stuff, and we
yeah.
love to see other people's cars. We love to talk about cars. Um, so I
I
was just
think
happy that I could actually show it off in all these different ways.
I think it's like a perfect sense of like community too. I mean, we wouldn't have met if we both didn't have cars, and we click. Like
Yeah.
we get along great. We Or, you know what I mean? We hang out all the time. Sometimes we'll grab food. We'll go hang out in parking lots for endless hours just talking about cars. There's just something so cool about cars that just gets everybody together. I mean, all all ages, like groups of people, it doesn't matter. Like you can get some 80-year-old dude with a 55 Chevy to come hang out in a parking lot with some 20-year-olds with like Jap traps, and then you have like, I don't know, you get dudes in their mid 30s, 40s with Audis and Volkswagens. Like you have all these people, and everybody gets along. Everybody has something to talk about, and can take interest and pride in the type of work it took to build whatever they have. I mean, there's an endless amount of subgenres in cars. It's ridiculous, and I
Yeah,
try to like everything.
I think the community is kind of well, really important for me in particular because I didn't really have a community. I
Yeah,
used
dude.
to play a card game, and the hobby shop that I went to play shut down because of COVID. So I was kind of out of a community. I was no longer in like a tight knit group like I had been for so many years at this hobby shop.
Yeah,
So getting the car also introduced me to this car community, and uh, Derek has been, pretty amazing with
appreciate
the
it.
way that he. No, I mean it was incredible how quickly you
Yeah, it's like
took
your
me
first
in.
day driving, bro. Like the first
Yeah,
time I saw you in the car, like your first meet, and I was like, I just drooling over the car, and just kind of works out that way, you know. And now it's like we have this, you know, you joined our group of friends. I should have added the pictures at IFO when it was the Miatas, the LS400, the Alfa Romeo, my truck, and your car, and like,
hmm
and then there's all these other cars too. I mean, it's wild. Cars are just like so fun, man. And
yeah. I mean, it was amazing to be accepted into. I've made 6 or 7 friends
yeah, we hang out with them all the
instantly.
time, of course. So if you yeah, I don't know what non-car people do with their lives.
Yeah.
I've been in it too long. No.
Yes. I
uh,
could still see some of it, but it's not nearly as good.
I think I mentioned this in the last podcast. I think it's really important in life to have a hobby at least. Like
Hmm
everybody's got to have a hobby. I don't know what people without hobbies do. Like like you said, whether it's a card game or even just sewing, man. Like you got to have something you like doing that's not work. I don't know. And through everything there's a sense of community, man. You could bake cookies, bro, and there's other people out there that bake cookies that would like to talk about baking cookies with you. It doesn't all matter. Like there is
hmm
a sense of community in a lot of things, but I just feel like with cars, it's huge and it's all around the world. Like like some kid was racing this car in Japan. Like we I don't speak a lick of Japanese, and I can go to Japan and make friends with people just through cars. Like everybody's always friendly. Like
hmm
it's a cool scene, man. Um, but
Very true.
on to the next thing. I haven't ridden in your car yet, but I wanted to say I've ridden in two right-hand drive cars this summer. Still have not driven one, but riding in them. The first one was a S13 from Japan with the SR20 DET black top. I think it was turbo. Yeah, it was turboed. But it was really cool. But we were dodging a lot of potholes. But I rode in a Nissan 180SX. I made a one-on-one video about it. Go check it out on my channel. And it was cool. It was the Nissan 180SX Type X, better trim package. And he was an excellent driver as well. I mean, I just felt so comfortable driving in the car, and we drove it at sunset, and it was just like, I love Japanese stuff. I love my mini truck. It is a Nissan. Nissan is Japanese, but my truck isn't like real JDM or anything like that. Obviously, like it's just funny. I named my channel Japanese Mini Truck. I don't know. I just like Japanese stuff, and I got my mini truck, and it's supposed to be themed like some sort of Tokyo like drift like styled truck and a 90s mini truck. So I guess it's kind of just where the name comes from. Is just Japanese mini truck. Easy to say. But yeah, man. My heart's really with the Nissans, and I love Japanese stuff, and I'm a huge fan of lowriders too. I think that's going to be the next build I do is a full lowrider out of
Mm.
another Nissan pickup. But I love what I have. It's a KA24E, and I would love to turbo it. So I got to choose whether I turbo the purple truck or build a lowrider pickup. We rode in something with switches the other day, and we were bouncing up and down, and he brought us up on 3 wheels. Shout out to the boy Callie for bringing us out on his Lincoln Town car. It was cool. It was kind of a life-changing experience. I know it was super off topic, but just riding in all these different cars has been such a cool job. Right there, you can see the vents, actually, in that picture. That's like
I'll give you a ride next time you're around, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know, we got him. Well, you know what's cool, actually, too, is this will be a completely different experience because I've ridden in the Alfa Romeo 4C. I've driven that car, too. I have a little bit of seat time in that. Really fun. But I haven't been in a right-hand drive rear engine car. So it will feel different than riding in the 180SX or, I mean, they were both S13s if you actually think about it. One was a coupe and one was a hatch. So I've ridden basically in 2 different S13s. So I think that works out good. Also, I apologize if I already said this. I don't mean to sound like a broken record. That red one I rode in was a Sylvia S13. I don't know if I said it was a 240 or not, but it's essentially, it'd just be an S13. It was a Sylvia, not a 240. Figured I'd just clear the air there if I didn't say that. Also, I got a question for you about your car. So I know when we essentially talked, kind of want to keep that stock look. I always mention this in my podcast. I'm a massive advocate for clear taillights and clear lenses. I was curious if you would ever do clear lenses on your car.
I know that they sell them. I don't know if I would want to clear the taillights because I really love the look of the I guess the facelift taillights because they're a little bit rounder.
Oh, really? I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, so the 90 to 94s, they called them the Zinky models. So that was the first revision.
These have Kuki and Zenki models. I didn't know
And
the
this,
MR2s came like that.
yep, the 95s and above were the Kuki model. And they rounded off taillights a little bit there. So
Gotcha.
in the center, where it meets that plate in the middle,
It's
it used to be
rounder.
just straight up and down.
I
And the
get
lights
you.
themselves were actually all square. So they made them a little rounder like this. I've seen the clear ones, but
Yeah,
I think that I like the red on there. You know,
of
it's
course.
a white car, so having a little bit of pop, at least to me, adds a little bit to it.
Yeah, it was a question I
Um,
had to ask. I seen a couple
yeah,
on
yeah.
on TikTok or Instagram. I'm like, ooh, I love that. But I'll always push for
I
clear on
might do the
anything.
clears in the front. I might because I know that they make the marker lights and the turn signals
Totally worth
clear,
it. It's just such a
and
clean look.
I think I might do it for the front, but I might leave the tail lights alone.
No, I get that for sure. I get that. That's cool. I didn't realize they did that with the taillights. And
Yeah,
but he's got a sick shift boot and handle going right now. All custom. I don't know what kind of flower, but it's like these flowers, and there's a flower in the middle of a what's that material? Not like a.
it's like a resin
Yes,
almost.
thank you. Like resin over a flower. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's
the flowers are actually cherry blossom flowers.
yeah. That's so sick. I love that.
I don't know if I sent you a picture of those or not, but
No, not in this, but it's okay. I mean, we touched up on a lot of the car, and you're in the factory seats still, right? Factory interior for the most part.
factory interior for the most part. I believe that the only modifications on the interior uh, was actually the shift knob. The cabin lights are actually LED.
Yep.
There's the boost gauge that's on the back of the steering wheel, and then there's actually some O-ring hooks drilled in behind the driver's seat for uh, I believe it was a racing harness for like a bucket seat.
Oh, that's sick. Any interior ideas? Like anything that you might want to swap up in your interior that you had planned, or are you liking how it is right now?
Um, I would definitely like some bucket seats. I think the Recaros would be
Oh,
where I went with
like the
those.
JDM ones, like the. Are you talking like the
Yeah,
confetti style ones from the '90s and things?
I might do the confetti. I do like just the all black look as well.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that
I
would be
like
sick.
having the white exterior, the black interior. But
Of
I
course.
think that if I were to get some seats, it would probably be Recaro's.
No, that would be sick. When we go to it's a show called Vag Fair. It's a lot of Volkswagens, Audis, Porsches. Um, a lot of the cars have Recaros in them, and they just look like they are meant to be. They have some nice, like they're like half racing, half bucket seat, and that's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's style for the car, but it's an upgrade from factory seats for sure. That's sick. And please fill me in. So I think we started to talk about it, but this is the same engine that comes in the Celica GT4, right?
That is correct. It's a 3S GTE engine. I believe that the only difference was the uh, MR2s have an I think it's an air intercooler, and the GT4s have a water to air intercooler. The GT4s have a little bit beefier intercooler setup. I did look at GT4 when I was in the market for a car, but the MR2 had won my heart, so I ended up going with a MR2 instead.
So you got to test drive an MR2. Did you get to test drive a GT4 as well?
Yes, actually, I went down.
I'm just gonna
A
start. I'm just
kid
gonna
was
go
selling
start.
it.
I'm gonna go start like messing with the dealers and be like, yo, I wanna buy one of these. Can I test drive like the GTR or the? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no, that's so funny. Like, that's cool. You got to drive that though. Like, that's kind of that's a cool experience. That's a homologations car by Toyota. It's their group. I'm not sure what rally racing, what group. I don't remember. It's one of their rally racing cars. And basically to race them, Toyota had to produce so many of them. So it's a homologations car. It's a Toyota Celica GT4. Also a 4-cylinder, like I said, same engine in this turbo, except it's in the front of the car. And the car is all-wheel drive. They're pretty sweet. I think they have like digital boost gauges, some of them. Like they're pretty nasty. I got a friend with one, and I wish I reached out to him a little bit earlier. I would have loved to have gone and made some videos on that car, and he's got a beautiful Skyline as well. I'm actually going to shout him out, Silver Zilla's 32 or Z30. I think it's Silverzilla 32. I think we'll go with that. And really cool guy. Go follow him on Instagram. Real. That was all I had to say. My bad.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I do really like the GT4s. The Toyota Celica GT4 was only offered in Japan.
Yep. Thank you.
Nowhere
Yeah.
else. So it was so seeing one over here, it had to be imported.
Yeah, he's gonna use that as his winter beater, which is hilarious. Like,
God,
because
that it just feels like a sin saying that.
well, he's got his GTR and he's like, man, I need a winter car. So I mean, another all-wheel drive. It's a sweet car. Like that car is really cool. I think in one of my videos I have a video of it driving away, and oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
But man,
Those are some sweet cars. I do like. I mean, I like all the '90s Japanese stuff.
oh yeah, 100%. Those are some upcoming cars though. I'm not like a fanboy. I'm a big Nissan kid. I need to get my tail in a R32 GTR. Should go for a rip. I've sat in one. I like the Supras. They don't catch me the same way. Maybe when they're done up. And I love everything. Like they're cool. But I definitely think I like the GTR a little bit more. Just the R32 styling. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's because I'm a Nissan kid. I'm sure you probably might like the Supra more than the GTR. I don't know what your
I
thoughts
don't
are
know
on that.
those R33s in the blue.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of hard to beat.
I have a friend with an R33, and I'd love to go ride in that. I have not seen a R34 in person yet, but at a Cars and Coffee in New Hampshire, somebody brought a V-Spec GTR R34, which is mind-blowing. And I didn't go that one day, and my heart is forever broken, man. It would have been so cool to see a V-Spec R34 GTR. Like, to see a GTR R34 in person would have been crazy. I actually like the look of the R32 more. Y'all can hate me on it. But a V-Spec? Top of the line, man. It was online for something crazy, like 150 grand or something like.
Yeah, those things are hot cars just from the factory too.
Oh yeah. Well, I watched Whistle and Diesel's video, and he actually talks about how unreliable the R32 is, but like the GTR he just had issues. He had bought 2 or 3, and then they became 1. But I did watch in an interview, he was talking about actually driving the car, and he's like, once you're in the car and driving, He's like, there's no feeling like it. It's just so fun and unreal. But I guess he didn't have much luck with it. But I don't know. Maybe someday. I just like my mini trucks. It's kind of my niche, and I like to kind of stick with that. But I like everything, man. Like there's a million cars I would love to own and drive. But yeah, who knows? Maybe someday we'll build a GTR on the channel. We'll see how famous we get.
I would certainly love to be a part of that.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. But we just dreaming right now. I love my truck though. That's what I mean. Like if my heart was set, that's another big thing I preach, man. If you want something bad enough, you can get it. Like if someone truly thinks they're gonna be a millionaire, I think it can happen. I think anything you really, really put your mind to, you can just make it. Like if I had always wanted an R32, it would have taken me a little longer to get, but I could have had that over my truck. But I love my truck. I wouldn't give my truck up for anything. I wouldn't trade my truck for an R34 V-Spec. Like I wouldn't. I don't care about that. Speed's not everything. I mean, it would be a cool car, but I just wouldn't give up what I put my time into for something else. I would rather just work hard and get that other thing. You know what I mean? It's only money at that point. Kind of a weird thing to say, but the world revolves around money. But I would never get rid of my truck for any amount of money. It just would never happen. I just built it. I put a lot of time into it. Wrecked it twice, rebuilt it twice. Someone would have scrapped it the first time. Someone would have scrapped it the second time. Someone scrapped it before I ever owned it. I went to a scrapyard for $50. Like someone was gonna scrap it. And just any time you put into something, you can get anything you want. 100%. Like within reason. Yeah.
I did have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you had the opportunity to get an imported right-hand drive D21, would you do that?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say any right-hand drive car. What would I get? I was gonna say, yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. No, I would totally rock one. If I did, I think that's what I would build for speed, just because it would be cool.
Yeah. I actually looked up to see if there were any on the auction sites over in Japan, but I didn't see any a couple days ago.
They would usually be, well, I can't say that. Most of the time, the importers will import 4-door, 4.5-foot beds to the States because we didn't get that variant at all. Or we might get the Terranos, which are basically just diesel Pathfinders. There's a couple weird ones. They have a lot of weird fire trucks they made out of these trucks, like just weird things. Yeah. But I do see them come across. We didn't get a 4-door in the States. I think there's some in Mexico and other countries, but we didn't get it. And actually kind of a funny thing too, Nissan made a diesel Skyline. I don't know if you knew that. In New Zealand.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, I used to talk with this guy, and he's in New Zealand. He has a bunch of Pathfinders and Tyrannos. I think they're all Tyrannos, actually. And he had a diesel R32. It was green. And I asked him, and he said it was a factory thing there. And I was like, wow, that is cool. Like, it's such an unreal, like... But it was probably... I mean, it's not like a GTR that's a diesel. It's just an R32... I think I said 3. I meant R32 Skyline with a diesel engine, probably a straight 4 turbo. Like,
wouldn't mind owning one of those.
Yeah, man.
That would be just so unique.
Yeah, they were wild. I had a friend, not too far down the road from me. He had an 86, I think it was 86, Datsun King Cab 720 pickup. I talked about this on the last stream too, but it was a diesel in the States, left-hand drive too. And that is kind of rare. That's definitely not a common thing. So I wish I would have known you sold it, because I would have loved to have bought it and made it a lowrider. The 720s look great as lowriders with wire wheels and everything.
Yeah.
But no, man.
Looking for your next project.
Yeah, something on you too. You've been talking about possibly trading up your daily mom car for a secondary right-hand drive car for your daily use.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting another car imported for my daily driving, just because I've enjoyed driving the MR2, the right-hand drive. I figure I can't drive the MR2 in the winter, and I already screw up the turn signal well enough in the Ford that
it's time
might
to
as
just get
well
another
get a
right-hand drive.
Then I don't have to worry about it.
No. Why do American cars have to be so inconvenient to right-hand drive car owners?
Yeah. They wouldn't have to confuse the turn signal and the windshield wipers anymore.
Shifting with your left hand too. That's another strange right-hand drive thing as well.
Yeah,
That would probably be the weirdest, to be honest.
that was pretty interesting. But it was again, it was just like 15 minutes. The hardest part, it's just like sitting in any new stick shift car. You're just not sure where the gears are. So the hardest thing for me was finding where the gears were in a brand new car.
Yeah. No, I see that, man. It's funny too.
But
Oh, please keep going. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that the gearing pattern is the same in the right-hand drive cars. So you're still up in the top left corner for first, straight back for second, up to the middle and third, but you're just doing it with your other hand. So first is kind of weird because you're pushing away from yourself to get into first.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. It is strange. Your car has a wicked short wheelbase too. Like, I don't know if we put our if we put our vehicles side by side. Your car is quite a bit shorter than my truck. I think.
It is pretty short. I'm not sure if I've ever looked necessarily at the wheelbase, but I know when I'm standing up next to my car, the tip of the roof of the MR2 comes out up to like right at my sternum. So it's
Yeah, it's
you
low
know, I'm
profile too, like all around. It's not tiny. Japan has some insanely small cars, like even outside of the K cars, like they have some small rides, man. So,
mhm.
but the MR2 is still pretty small. I mean, like I said, these are what I like about this picture is all three of these vehicles are vehicles you can get in Japan, like variants of them, left or right hand drive, like whatever. Like if you forget about what hand drive they are, like all three of the cars in this picture are all cars you could get in Japan. I mean, they're all modified, whatever, but it's just cool to see. Like that's what roams the streets. I mean, these are all small.
Mhm.
If we put a regular size vehicle next to these, even that's another crazy thing. The Z32 is way smaller than you really think they are. Like most of them are only 2-seaters. And I learned this kid's actually is a 2x2, so it's a 4-seater. There's a back row of seats. I don't
Mhm.
know how you fit that. They're short. I always thought they were bigger. And then I'm standing next to him one day, and I'm like, wow, your wheel well is right after the door, like right there. Bam, you're done. I don't know. The Z32, it's got a big V6. Is it the VG30? Maybe 35. I think it's a VG30. That's why it's a 300. Yeah, that would make sense. And not a lot of room to work in the engine bay. I'm curious
Mhm.
what would have happened though if the Z was also a rear engine car. That would have been kind of cool. I think it would have made a little bit more sense as a better handling car. They're not typically enjoyably. Like I don't think it's a great car for really much. Like I think a couple of people drift them, but it's not the same as just if you had gotten a 240SX and drifted it. Like, I mean, just for the weight distribution, uh, a 240 is almost perfect 50-50. It's 45-55. I don't know, there's just all these other weird things. Like I said, you got this big engine in the front. They're heavy cars. Uh, they're not the most reliable. I'm not trying to hate on the Z32s out here. I'm just spitting the facts. Like, I mean, they come across a lot of issues and so I'm just curious, like, what if Nissan had made them like an MR platform as well? I mean, it's short. It's pretty short. It's a little wider than your car for sure. I think it would have been kind of cool. I don't know, just kind of a random thought, but yeah, I think that would have been kind of a neat thing. The nose probably wouldn't be as long on them if they were rear.
Another thing that I actually just thought about with the MR2, it has polymer engine bushings.
Oh,
So
and your suspension. What do you have for coilovers on that thing?
actually, I had it up the other day, and I think that they're just lowering springs on it
Oh,
because
really?
I had the rear wheels off to try to fit those spacers on there, and I didn't see any branding or anything like that, and I didn't see
Gotcha.
any adjustment back there. So I think that it's just on lowering springs right now,
Did you
which
get the spacers on?
no, so we had
Oh man,
ordered 12 millimeters, and there's just not enough space
for your lug
for the
nut to grab.
lugs to go on. So I need to probably got to order 8 millimeters, maybe six,
Mm.
just so the fitment's a little bit better in the rear. Uh, but yeah, I need to order some more of those now that I think about it.
Yeah. In time too, you can always like convert to like a little bit more of an offset wheel or something too, or whatever it may be
Yeah.
in the future. That would
I
be
mean,
a
I would like, you know,
nothing crazy, of
far in
course.
the
Just
far in the future plans, I'd like to get T37s.
yeah,
So,
of
that's
course.
why I've got the Avid AV6 on there because they're kind of the T37 style.
Yep.
This is a style that I liked, but
Hey, at
I
least.
didn't really want to drop $4,000 on rims after importing a car.
Hey, it's like you said though. Like when you got the car, it was on mixed match wheels anyway. So I'd rather see that than mixed match wheels. Like it's
Yes,
just such a cleaner
definitely.
look. You have plans. I mean, everybody starts somewhere. Like I said, it's a clean look for the car. I, you haven't had any issues. They're not, they haven't broken. Like I think you're chilling.
No.
Advent
No, I
too.
mean I saw plenty of good reviews for the
You
Avid.
said Advent. Yeah, as I was saying.
Yeah, the Avid wheels. I saw a lot of good reviews on them before I ended up actually buying them, but I saw so many positive things about them that I figure that those will last me until I have saved up or found T37s because that's the problem is finding them.
Yeah, and then especially depending. Do you have a color choice? Like, do you want to go back to white?
Oh, yes, definitely
So I was
white.
gonna say if you find some, unless they're not like if they're not white, then you have to have them powder coated white or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be fine with a different color, just and powder coat them. But I do want to. One thing that I didn't do, I have a square setup on there right now. They're all 17 by 9, but the MR2s came with a staggered setup from the factory.
Yeah, which is
So that's
nasty.
why the fitment is a little bit weird in the rear, is because I have a square wheels for a car that's designed for a staggered setup.
I think that'll
So
look
I
good though
would,
in time. Like if you get that staggered fitment back, ooh,
oh yeah,
that extra traction, man, you'll feel that.
yeah, definitely.
No, seriously, this is I think it's a really successful podcast, man. Like, I'm happy you came on. This is just
Oh,
cool to
thank
talk
you
about
for
the,
inviting me.
of course, and the pop-up headlights, guys. Don't forget about that. It's like the one of the other cool redeeming factors of the MR2. If it didn't have it, no one would probably buy it. No, I'm just kidding. No, no,
Yes.
the car would be useless. No.
Uh, well, we all love our Japanese junk, don't we?
Oh, of course. But man, no, I think it was a great episode of the podcast. Is there anything else you wanna mention or say?
Uh, no, I don't think so. I just appreciate the opportunity to come on here, and
Bro, of course.
you know,
It's
I love
all
talking about my car. So
all about cars, man. Uh, Looking to definitely have some more guests on the podcast to talk about their cars and what they've been through. But I would love to still. I know you guys heard the story here, but I would love to go make a one-on-one video like we do, like going out, filming the car in different locations, photograph the car, like really just make a cool video for YouTube on the main channel. Like I said, go subscribe at Japanese Mini Truck. Go subscribe to JDM MR2 in a couple weeks from now once he uploads his first video. And go subscribe to Mini Truck Podcast. Thank you guys for checking out today's podcast. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Peace.